we will be introducing into the House today legislation that responds to the recommendations of the Joint Standing Committee on Electoral Matters into the last election. What these changes will do, what they seek to do, is to ensure that Australian voters determine where their Senate votes go, so that Australians will determine where their preferences go, transparently, clearly, accountably. At the moment, as you know, with the group voting tickets, a person who votes one for a particular party may find their preferences going, well, they won't know where they're going unless they bother to look up the group voting ticket on the AEC website. And of course, parties are entitled to register 3 group voting tickets. So there may be 3 options for where their votes may go, or perhaps a third of their vote goes in separate directions. The system has been taken advantage of, there is no doubt about that. The last Senate election was widely criticised. Australians were astonished to see people elected to the Senate whose primary votes were a fraction. In the case of one senator from Victoria, about 0.5% of the vote. So what these changes will do is ensure that above the line, voters will be invited or directed to number 6 squares, 1 to 6. If they only number 1, their vote will, or less than 6, their vote will still be formal. So, contrary to what Senator Dastyari said today, this change will not increase informal voting, quite the contrary. There are other changes made of a more technical nature to below-the-line voting, but the fundamental change is in terms of above-the-line voting, which is where the vast majority of voters do vote. They will determine, all of us, or every Australian who votes in the Senate will determine where their vote goes. And that's democracy. This is an important reform